Welcome back, eSIM Studios YouTube channel. We are live on this Thursday, July 16th. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Happy to be back on YouTube with everybody. How's everybody doing today? I want to apologize. A little congested today, so I want to apologize for that. That's because of the late start. I'm like, oh man, I sound horrible today. So a little cold here. Trying to get. We'll push through it. I'm sure if any of y'all have been seeing the news, massive flooding here in South Texas. So we've just getting pounded and pounded with thunderstorms for literally the last every day for maybe 4 or 5 days. I mean, pounding and pounding. Every 30 minutes, I hear the roar of thunder. So if you hear thunder in the background, it's because we're underwater. Well, San Antonio, if you're not familiar with South Texas, San Antonio is part of the hill country. That's the reason why it floods so bad, because it's hilly, right? And all the water, when it rains real hard, it collects at the bottom of the inclines, at the bottom of the hills. So we're on that right now. It would take a an act of God for the home that I'm sitting in right now to get flooded. We're a good, I don't know, 50, 60 feet above where the water collects down at the bottom of the neighborhood. So I'm okay, fortunately. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are okay. Big issue here. But anyways, we will get past it. So let's see here. Will you be converting the OnePlus 15 to ColorOS? Sorry, I got my monitors going, so if you see me looking to the left, it's because I have my StreamYard here to the left. I'll probably move. Actually, let me move it over here so you're not staring at the side of my head. Let's see. Can everybody hear me okay? Just want to make sure. Let me just make sure real quick. And I think we're going to do a giveaway today. So if you're watching live, we'll do a giveaway here shortly, so bear with me. Let me just make sure I sound okay. Yeah. And I ordered a new webcam, so it should be here tomorrow. So should have a little better video quality. Will you be converting the OnePlus 15 to ColorOS? I heard ColorOS 17 will have a liquid glass. Yeah, I'm going to be converting mine. It brings up, we're going to jump, that's one of the stories we're going to be covering today. So apparently, and we're going to dive into the specifics here shortly, but apparently they're going to give you the option to, which is cool, because some of you that do have OnePlus 15s have expressed that you don't want to. And I read an article last night. I'll see if I can find it here right now, and I don't know why I just thought of this. Apparently, they're going to give you the option. So if you want to roll into ColorOS, you can, but they're also going to give you like a flash tool, or essentially give you the option where you can stay in Oxygen OS, or if you convert to ColorOS, you can roll it back, I think. I don't know, but it's cool. Now, here's the next question. If you stay in Oxygen OS, are you still going to get updates? Right? It's not like they're just going to say, oh, you don't want ColorOS? Okay, well then fine. You can stay on Oxygen OS, but we're never going to update your phone. I don't think they're going to do that, but we'll get into it here shortly. But very good question. Yeah, I'm going to try it out. I actually like ColorOS. I just haven't used it in like 18 months, so I'm sure it's changed a little bit. It's pretty similar, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and convert mine. Hey, how's it going? We'll update my OnePlus 13R and Pad 3 to ColorOS. You are going to? RIP OnePlus, it's officially over. Yeah, it looks like it is. And we'll jump into OnePlus. I know I have a lot of OnePlus users that are subscribers, as myself. It sucks. And we're going to get into what's going on behind the scenes. We're going to get into why they're making these moves. And there's still some uncertainty about what they're doing, what the future looks like for them. And also we'll get into Realme, which is another sub brand of Oppo, sister brand of OnePlus. Well, I'm going to save some details for that story, but I am going to roll into our very first story. But it was funny. I was before the live stream, I went into my bedroom because I record here in our home. This is a guest bedroom that I converted into a studio, essentially. I actually have a bed over here, so when I'm working on apps and stuff late at night, sometimes I'll just crash over here. So one or two nights out of the week. But I went into the guest bedroom to grab a shirt, and my daughter was like, because she's not in school, it's summertime. She was like, why are you wearing dress shirts now on your live streams? And I was like, well, what do you mean? She was like, well, I don't remember you wearing dress shirts like before, and like every day this week you've had a dress shirt on. And I'm like, look, I said, look, I'm trying to. I've been saying for the longest, I'm trying to make the transition to full-time YouTube or social media, right? Now, if you want to stand out from your competition, right, then you need to do something different than your competition. So if you look at and that's what I was explaining to my daughter, if you look at the tech space on YouTube, typically it's guys and there are some women, but typically it's guys, I don't know, in their 30s, some 20s, mostly 30s, some 40s. But they all have t-shirts on. They all have hoodies on, And I was like, and again, this is why we do live streaming, because I want to involve you. I want to be the most interactive tech channel on YouTube that actually communicates with the viewer. Because, look, I don't want to talk shit about anybody, but a lot of these people don't care. Kind of like big companies. They don't really care what you think. They're going to put out the product, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And there's not really any communication between the two. But I was telling her, because no other tech YouTubers wear a dress shirt. I told her I'm not going to be putting on a suit. That would look a little weird if I came in here in a 3-piece suit and had like the 5 o'clock news with a tie. No. definitely that would look out of place. Certainly not going to go that far. But I was like, because all the other tech YouTubers just wear hoodies. Like, I want to be a little different. So, and look, this is how I have a ton of dress shirts. I used to work in a professional setting where I had to wear a dress shirt and slacks every day to work. That sucked. But it's nice putting on a nice shirt and khakis every day for an afternoon. So, okay, so check this out. There's been a lot of stuff when it comes to APKs, sideloading. Google, they've had this weird, over the last 12, 18 months, there's been this weird, I don't even know what to call it, but it seemed like they were essentially cutting off sideloading, and that caused a huge issue in the Android world, because that's one thing that I simply love about Android and one thing that I hate about iOS. One thing. There's plenty of things I hate about iOS, but it's just one of many things that I love about Android, right? You can download an APK, install it. When they cut that off, huge outroar. They kind of walked that back a little bit. Like, in my opinion, that video review that I did of that Android toolkit, if any of y'all saw that, or if you have not, I suggest you go back and watch that, because right now it's easier than ever to sideload an APK. Like with that toolkit, you can just, boom, it shoots it right to your phone in 2 seconds and away you go. So it's kind of a weird, like, phase that we're in with these APKs and all this stuff, side-loading applications. And if you were unaware, Epic, the game creator, I think, is it Fortnite? Do they create? Are they the creators of Fortnite? I believe it's a big company that produces games, right? I think they do games. Well, I know they do games for app stores, obviously for phones, but I think they do games for PlayStation, Xbox. I don't know because I'm not a gamer. But Epic filed a huge lawsuit versus Google, and this went on for dragged out for a year. They were suing Google because they did not want to be on the Play Store because the Play Store was charging them, I think, 30% of revenue, meaning if they made $100,000, Google would take 30,000 of that and leave them with 70, which put them in a big bind. It puts a lot of people in a big bind. So there was a big legal battle between them, and one of the results of this legal battle, which just ended, and there's a lot of negotiations that goes on. There's a judge that's involved, and it seemed like Epic was fighting for all the developers or independent developers out there with the Play Store, because the thing with the Play Store, the App Store, is you have to play by their rules, and if you don't, goodbye, good luck to you. It's kind of, you got to play by their rules, and a lot of their rules, look, if you don't like it, goodbye, right? And I get that. Same thing with YouTube with their terms of service. There's certain things you can upload and talk about on YouTube, and there's certain things you kind of can't, and if you don't like it, see ya. But when it comes to big business, it's a big deal. Now, we have new word of some big changes coming to the Play Store that will involve you. If you have an Android phone, this will affect you, right? So here is what came from the Epic versus Google legal battle. Google is now going to allow third-party app stores. I'm going to repeat this because this is big. Google is going to allow third-party app stores on Android operating system following this lawsuit resolution. So Google is set to permit third-party app stores on Android starting July 22nd, 2026. So here in just a few days. As a resolution to the Epic Games lawsuit, this move will also allow these external stores to list and distribute apps and games originally available on the Google Play Store, adhering to the same terms and conditions. Google has withdrawn its motion to modify a U.S. court's injunction, opting to focus on its evolving business model that emphasizes greater App Store choice and developer opportunities. Third-party app stores in the U.S. will need to pay an annual $5,000 fee for access to Play Store listings and must meet specific trust and safety policy requirements, including limitations on malware distribution. We'll get to that last part in a second. But this is big. So this move is allowing app stores. Do you remember? This was big back in the day, maybe 5 years ago. Is it Aptoid? I used to have Aptoid. I used to have, there was a couple of others. APK Pure. It was a website that had apps on there. The one I use, to this day, the only one that I use to this day is APK Mirror. Now, the only reason why I use them is because they typically have a more strenuous verification system for apps. So if you're a third-party developer and you upload your APK to APK Mirror, they do multiple scans of your app to make sure that you're not uploading malware in there, right? Because they're meant to sideload. And that's the main thing Google was claiming, is that we only want our app store on these phones because what do they call it? Play certified, certified select or whatever, one of these names. They basically want to ensure Android users that our apps on our Google Play Store are certified safe. There's no malware in these apps. And to an extent, I believe them. But on the other hand, it's like a monopoly, because Google's saying only these apps we can guarantee you have no malware, right? And that's one of the reasons why they wanted to distance themselves from sideloading, because let's be honest, they do have a point. They do have a point, because hackers can stuff malware in these APK files, upload them to an external app store website for you and me to download, install, and then the very next morning, all your money's gone, right? So they do have I'm kind of like on the fence because I see what they're saying, but I think they used it too much because here's the problem. They're doing that on purpose because they want only certified apps on their app store, but yet they're charging 30%, meaning whatever revenue your application brings in, Google's getting a 30% cut. Again, if you make 100 grand on your app in 1 year, well, Google's taking 30 of it. So that leaves you with $70,000. If you have employees, if you have overhead, if you have insurance, you have to pay a few developers. Like, that's a huge chunk of your revenue out the door. I mean, you don't even see it. It's like the government. They just take it out. Like, you don't even get it. It's like one of those taxes that you see on the bottom of a paycheck stub. It's just gone even before you see it. So it essentially created a monopoly for Google to charge whatever they want to. Now, if you think that's high, I think Apple's is even a little higher, to be honest with you. I think Apple's varies, but I think theirs goes as much as 40%, which is even more insane. But this is a good thing because they're kind of meeting these app stores halfway. So from this resolution of this lawsuit, you cut a deal, right? So I don't think we're really going to fully understand how this is going to work until July 22nd. So this means that Aptoid, I'm sure many of y'all have used Aptoid, at least in the past, maybe not recently, but APK Mirror. So there will be now there is an APK Mirror application on the App Store right now, but it's just to sideload apps. It's not an actual app store. So come July 22nd, you will see in the Google Play Store, you'll actually go to the Play Store and then search for, I don't know, Aptoid App Store. And then you will be able to download and or sideload a third-party app store, and then you can have it right on your phone, just like the Google Play Store. Now, I'm not really sure when July 22nd comes and this all becomes real and comes to fruition. I'm going to dive into the terms of service. I'm going to spend a good hour or so diving into the specifics, into the fine print, and see, is Google, because here's the thing I'm not sure about, is Google going to certify the apps that are not on the Play Store but are allowed on these third-party app stores? Like, for example, what if I want to download the Waze app? And because they just activated Waze, you know, the it's like Uber, but there's no driver. It's like a robotic, it's like a taxi, but with no driver. It's really weird. They just activated it here in town, and I was going to make a video about that. But anyways, so what if I wanted to download the Waze app, but I didn't want to download it from the Play Store? What if I wanted to download it from that Aptoid app store on July 23rd, the day after this activates? So are they going to certify that Waze app that's on the Aptoid app store, meaning certified no malware, certified safe? Or are they going to only certify the apps on the Google Play Store? Like, I'm really not sure how this is going to work, and I'm not sure many people do. I'm sure I could really find out if I spend enough time on it, but I think once this is solidified on the 22nd and we can actually have, because if you install the Aptoid app store, you know, when you install it, it'll give you a couple different listings, or you're going to have to approve some stuff, and usually there's a link for terms of service. I'm going to click that, I'm going to read that, and kind of see what's going on. I think this is a big deal, to be honest with you. I think this is a huge deal, not just for you, but for me too, because I got an idea last night when I was looking into this and when I scheduled this live stream. I think I'm going to look into creating my own app store. I think. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to look into it, because it says third-party app stores in the U.S. will need to pay an annual fee of $5,000 for access to Play Store app listings. So it looks like the certified, okay, so if you have to pay $5,000 fee for access to Play Store app listings, So that means they're going to have the same app, but in different app stores, I'm assuming. And then each app store that pays the $5,000, third party app store that pays that $5,000, all those apps will be certified because it says they're going to have to meet specific trust and safety policy requirements, including limitations on malware distribution. I'm going to look into it, but I thought, you know what? $5,000 for your own app store. I'm thinking about it. I don't know where this is going to go, but it hit me last night. I was like, that's not that bad. I mean, you can theoretically make that back depending on how many apps you have and how many advertisements you have in your app store. You can theoretically make that back, I'm guessing, in short time, obviously, if you have a decent amount of users. But I'm going to look into that on the side. But are y'all excited for this, or this is not a big deal to y'all? I think it is, to be honest with you. I think this is a big deal as far as Android goes, opening it up just a little bit, Sad day. Boy, oh boy, do I too. I do too, man. What's going on, brother? Side loading should be an option and should be able to decide if you want it or not. Yeah, if you should check out, maybe you have. I did a app review of the new Android toolkit. It's I think they have it for Windows, for Mac OS, I think they even have for Linux. It's an Android toolkit where you plug your phone in, you select the APK you want, and you shoot it to your phone. And it's the easiest thing I've ever used when it comes to side loading. I think I recorded it last week, so you may go back into my video catalog that I uploaded maybe last week, and you should see it. Android toolkit. It's great. It makes side loading easy breezy. If Google really want to protect us, they can do so while also giving us the choice to turn it off. But what they're trying to protect is their pockets. Yeah, look, when you're dealing with a company, especially a corporation, the answer to everything is money. Let's face it. Literally everything is money. Comes down to money. Every decision they make, money is a determining factor. So yeah, your statement is 100% correct. I think they were just trying to finalize with this Epic lawsuit ruling. I think they're trying to finalize ways to monetize from this ruling. If you want me to be honest, I mean, look, if you want to, like I mentioned, they'll let me create an app store, which I'm honestly thinking about doing. You have to pay them $5,000 to be certified. And then I'm sure somewhere in the fine print, whatever your revenue is, probably going to have to give a few percent of your revenue to them as well, right? Because they have the platform, you're just kind of using it. So yeah, don't get it twisted. This is definitely about money, right? As it should. Look, that's what they're in business for, is to make money, not to make friends. But making money, you have to make a consumer satisfied. You have to make the consumer wanting to come back and to use your product, right? There is Apple, but who wants to use them? But yeah, I get it. OnePlus already confirmed it would be China and India only. I'm looking forward to the S27 Pro. Well, I have news and information in regards to that as well. It looks like India may be out the door as well. So let's move on to OnePlus. So it looks like OnePlus is going to be China only. Now, let's move on to OnePlus. So getting into current OnePlus devices, and then we will roll into where they're going to be selling phones next year. So let me pull up this real quick. So here we have OnePlus is going to continue updates. We knew this. All devices will move to ColorOS with Android 17. Let me see also if I can find the option to roll back onto Oxygen OS. I think this is it. Let's see this. And then we'll get into where they're going to sell phones next year and what we're going to do moving forward. So yeah, if there was any sliver of hope, or if you had some, if you were hoping and praying or wishing on a shooting star that they would somehow come back and sell a phone here or there. It's gone. It's a long gone. It's a done deal. It's essentially, well, I'll put it this way: in America, it's done. It is done. Depending on where you live, depending on where you're watching this, that might not be true, but chances are it's done for you as well, because it looks like they're just going to be selling in China now. We're going to get into why they are leaving India, but let's move into, if you do have a OnePlus phone right now, what you can expect moving forward, and then we'll jump into the future. So they put out a statement as a part of the global shutdown. We've all heard they're leaving North America, they're leaving Canada, they're leaving the global market. And as of yesterday afternoon, it was just China and India, right? Now, a huge disappointment, but it left all the OnePlus users that currently have a OnePlus device. Well, hold up now. What do I do with my current phone, right? Well, they're going to still support us. They're still going to support us. And what their plan is converting all current OnePlus devices to ColorOS. So ColorOS is is ColorOS, and maybe you can help me, is ColorOS used anywhere outside of China, or is it China only? Because I've used a ColorOS OnePlus 13. Is everything outside of China Oxygen OS, and then ColorOS is only China? Anyways, as part of an operational adjustment to their software strategy, this is what OnePlus states. ColorOS is used globally for Oppo phones. Okay. Yeah, but I meant for OnePlus phones. Let's see here. As part of an operational adjustment to our software strategy, OnePlus, okay. Got you. So we all assumed this. We all heard rumblings, and I think I even mentioned something about this just, I don't know, last week, that there was a word out there, a rumor that they were going to convert current OnePlus devices to ColorOS. And now it's official. So today, OnePlus made a statement saying, this is what we are going to do. They said, as a part of an operational adjustment to our software strategy following the official release of ColorOS 17, users globally with existing OnePlus devices that fall within the eligible upgrade scope will have the option. Now, listen up here. You have to read the fine, you got to read between the lines here. The choice of words are very specific. So let's see what they're saying. They're telling us OnePlus devices that fall within eligible upgrade scopes will have the option, which means you don't have to if you don't want to. You'll have the option to voluntarily update to the latest ColorOS. This enables us to streamline software development, accelerate update delivery, improve software quality, and make better use of our shared engineering and R&D capabilities. So that statement brings up a whole nother list of questions. What does have the option to mean? What does voluntarily update mean? And what does the fork in the road bring if you go one way or the other? Let's see here. I'm going to attempt to find, and maybe this has it in here. I'm going to attempt to find the statement where I saw last night. Well, before we get there, let me look at this. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Oxygen OS has largely evolved. Okay, yes, we knew this. OnePlus will continue to maintenance support for Oxygen OS. Okay, so I think I'm getting a little clearer message. It says OnePlus will continue, quote unquote, maintenance support for Oxygen OS versions on older models, not included in the Android 17 update scope, but newer devices will likely need to make the switch to ColorOS for all forms of continued support. OnePlus does not explain that rollback versions to Oxygen OS will be available for those who prefer the prior experience. Okay, interesting. So let's break down this. Oh, let's go one more. So here's what they made. A statement. OnePlus devices will be able to choose. So going a little deeper here, here's your choice. If you have a OnePlus phone, it looks like you will be able to choose whether you want to go the ColorOS route, or they're giving you the option to stay on Oxygen OS. OnePlus devices will be able to choose whether to update to the latest ColorOS system. Older models that are not included in the update scope will also continue to receive version maintenance support. If users update to ColorOS, they will be able to roll back to Oxygen OS. The specific rollback versions available will be subject to future official announcements. Now, OnePlus says that it will fully support devices as promised, with all existing devices getting quote-unquote software updates, security patches, and applicable support. Realme, other Oppo brands, has also confirmed it'll be moving to ColorOS starting with Android 17. Okay, so they're giving you the option. You can go with ColorOS, or you can stay on Oxygen OS. Now, it looks like they're also helping us out a little bit by saying you can go, if you go the ColorOS route and you don't like it, you can even roll it back to Oxygen OS and go down that road, all right? But here's what I think is going to happen. Now, that choice is solely up to you and to you only. You can try out ColorOS. If you don't like it, you can roll back to Oxygen OS. Now, probably going to wipe your data. It's like joining into a beta program. But if you want to get out, you're gonna have to do a factory reset. So I'm almost positive, 99.9% sure that's going to be the case. But at least they're giving you the option. I don't know how that's going to work, right? So if you roll into ColorOS, you don't like it, maybe it'll be like the Android, the Google Pixel beta program, where it's a website, they have a link to their servers, you sign into your account, you either check or uncheck your device on whether you want to go ColorOS or Oxygen OS, and it sends an update to your device literally within a minute, and then you touch that on your phone and it factory resets it and puts you in the Oxygen OS. I don't know how they're going to do this, because when I used to flash phones all the time using custom ROMs, there was a flash tool. I forgot what it was called, because Samsung had Odin and OnePlus had some kind of, I had a factory OnePlus flash tool that I was flashing all these ROMs to my phone. I don't know what they're going to, I doubt they're going to do that, because people that don't know what they're doing are going to brick their phones. So I'm assuming, this was 10 years ago. So I'm assuming it's going to be automated at this point, right? We're too advanced to there's no way they would expect people to download a toolkit on a Windows machine and flash a device. Like, the average user is not going to want to do that. You're going to have a ton of bricked phones. So, I mean, it's possible, but I'm almost convinced that they're going to do a automated version where it's just going to send an update. You can either enroll or unenroll in ColorOS, and it'll just, send a notification to your phone, and you do it that way. Here's the issue that I think users, if you stay with Oxygen OS, I think you're going to have an issue. So if you stay with Oxygen OS, let's say you want to try out ColorOS, you choose that option, you're like, it's really not for me. I want the old thing back, and you choose to go the Oxygen OS route. Here's the thing. I think they will still update your device, meaning you're going to get the bare minimum. Like, I don't think it should be that way, but I think it will be that way. Meaning, you will still get monthly security patches. You will still get Android updates, meaning going from Android 17 to Android 18 and Android 18 to Android 19. All in between those, you're getting monthly security patches. I think they're still going to do that. At least I'm pretty darn sure they are. At least they're held legally. They're bound to those Google Android terms of services. So I know they'll do that. But I think you're going to have more feature-rich updates with the ColorOS route, meaning you're going to get newer, faster Trinity engine animations, optimizations. You're going to get new widgets, new Android 17. I think they're going to put all their eggs in the ColorOS basket, meaning feature-rich options and updates. And then I think on the Oxygen OS side, they're just going to do the bare minimum, right? The bare minimum that Google holds them to, I think. Now, maybe you're okay with that, right? And that, again, that's up to you, the owner of the device. I totally get it. If you want to stay with Oxygen OS, it's a fantastic operating system, so I can see why. But I'm just saying, I just want everybody to be aware, because I don't think you're going to hear this anywhere else. I'm certainly not going to hear it from OnePlus and or Oppo, but I think they're going to do that. It only makes sense, right? They want you to convert to ColorOS because that's where they're headed, right? They're going to eventually phase out Oxygen OS because as each year that goes on, each device ends a end of device life, meaning at some point your OnePlus 13 is going to stop getting updates, and then that's it. So at some point, as each year goes on and on and on, the OnePlus 13 will stop getting updates, the OnePlus 13R will stop getting updates, the OnePlus 15 will stop getting updates, and then that'll be end of Oxygen OS, while ColorOS continues on into the future. So I can see exactly where this is going. ColorOS will be more feature packed, but again, it's up to you. If you want to do Oxygen OS, be my guest. But at least they're giving us the option, right? I mean, as of a week ago, I thought they were just gonna boom send us an update 1 month, and now everybody has to convert to ColorOS, which I didn't mind personally, but I know not everybody's the same, right? I know some people, and some of you did express your displeasure with that, so that's cool. I totally get it. If you want to stay with Oxygen OS, man, that is completely your option. Yeah, you're still gonna get updates for sure. I feel like ColorOS is going to get more attention and updates and sticking to where they put majority of their focus. Yeah, that's exactly what I explained. You're gonna get feature-rich updates, future updates in ColorOS. All their good developers are gonna be focusing solely on ColorOS. And then on the Oxygen OS side, you're just going to get the bare minimum. All you're going to get is the monthly updates, just a security patch. And then with the Android updates, they're just going to update it. Like, essentially what your phone has on it right now is what it's going to look like in 3 years if you stick with Oxygen OS. And maybe you're okay with that. But on the ColorOS side, that's where all the innovation is going to come. That's where all the smoother animations are going to be. That's where the all new widgets are going to be. That's where all new lock screen animations and features are coming to. So, it is what it is. But now, next question is, when is Android 17 coming? Because that's when it's going to be time to decide. When is Android 17 going to be released for? Let's see. Going to be released. Who knows? Well, it was already released, but I mean for OnePlus devices, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they update OnePlus devices maybe around later in the year. I want to say October, November, something like that, I think. So you're still going to have a few more months to decide what you want to do. And again, try ColorOS out. If you don't like it, you can go back to Oxygen OS, but just beware, you're probably going to have to do a factory reset when you roll it back. In fact, I know you are. So just beware, be aware of that. Now here's an interesting take. So an analyst says OnePlus did not necessarily fail on product. They believe it struggled to maintain a distinctive identity. So what do you think about that? So they're saying OnePlus did not fail because they have a bad product. They're saying OnePlus failed because they did not have an identity. Now, I sort of believe that. The product they offer is great. Now, the identity, I can see this because they went through a few years there where their sales dipped massively. They just weren't that appealing. I think it was right after the 8T, the OnePlus 8T. I got that phone. I love that phone. But when they switched to the OnePlus 9, that's when it was like, ugh, this thing, I don't know about this. Not a good phone. I mean, style-wise, again, identity-wise. That's why iPhone, whether you like them or not, they stick to a kind of similar design, although they do get a lot of hate and a lot of criticism for staying the same, but they have an identity. Samsung has been stuck on this similar design for the last, 4 years? Maybe 5? About 4 or 5 years. They have an identity, right? Pixel looks the same for the last 3 years. They have an identity. And I think OnePlus, it seems like they're changing too much now. Look, the OnePlus fans love the OnePlus devices, but you got to get more than just the fans to buy your product. And I think it was hard for them. I see what this person is saying. It's probably a little bit of combination of the both. Not necessarily a fail on product, but if you don't have an identity, you're going to have a badass product. But if it doesn't sell, it's not going to work. So I kind of agree with that. I just think it's bad timing. The whole COVID thing, the inflation, it's hard to survive in the tech world when you're selling phones. It just is. So, interesting article. I'm not going to read it for y'all. I don't want to bore y'all, but it does bring up a fantastic viewpoint of why this did fail. Because let's face it, it failed. It failed. Now, here we go. What on China and India and OnePlus. So, last night I got word that it's just China only for OnePlus. No India. So I think the reason why you're hearing all these different stories about they're going to sell here, they're not going to sell here, they're doing this, they're doing that, I think they don't even know. Because remember, a couple weeks ago, we got word that OnePlus and Realme were going to merge. Do you remember that and make a new sub-brand? Well, that doesn't look like that's going to happen anymore. And then you hear it's China and India only for OnePlus. Well, now we're just hearing it's going to be China. And then I got word last night that Realme is not going to sell in China. What? They're only going to focus on the global market. I'm like, well, wait, hold up. What is going on here? I don't think they know, to be quite honest with you. I think they're still, literally, as we speak, trying to decide on what to do. So, I don't know. All we know right now, OnePlus is done in the US, done in North America, done in the global market. So regardless if they sell in India or if they don't, or if they make the final decision, it's China only, but we'll sell budget phones in India. Whatever they want to do, it's done on a global market. It sucks. Now, I got news last night that Realme was not going to be selling phones in China. It was going to be selling phones globally. And I thought, well, shoot, maybe that's a good thing. I wonder if they're going to sell phones in the U.S. or will it be open to us U.S. buyers? Well, I jumped on that real quick. And the answer is no. God dang it. Nope. Not for U.S. consumption. They're going to focus on Europe. Which, I guess, look, Realme phones aren't the you know, latest and hottest thing out here on the streets, but hell, it is another option. And they do make decent phones. I mean, it's a Oppo brand, right? So you know what you're getting with that. But no, it's just Europe only. So my little 2 minutes of being excited about having another option here in the U.S. was quickly stomped on. So that will not be the case. But my point is, I don't even think they know. I honestly think they're still trying to figure this out. So is OnePlus just going to sell phones in China? Will they have phones in India for sale? Who knows? But I'm hearing as of right now, it's just China. Now, OnePlus came out today and said, no, we're still going to be selling in India, despite the rumors you heard. Yeah, well, we've heard that before. How many times over these last 6 to 8 months when we've been hearing that OnePlus is, they're leaving the U.S. market, and then they come out and say, no, we're staying in the U.S. market. Boom, they gone. We get reports now of they're going to be leaving India. Oh, no, we're not leaving India. Really, we know how this goes. So I wouldn't be surprised, because I looked for information right before this live stream. Is this going to happen? Yes or no? Are they going to leave India as well? Because that rumor did come out last night, as I've mentioned numerous times. And today, or as of 8 hours ago, OnePlus says, nope, we're not quitting India. Well, like I just explained. Of course, they're going to deny that. But the rumor is they're leaving India as well. Because they still want to sell phones. Like, they can literally, they don't want the rumor to get out and then people freak out and just stop buying their phones. No, they want to bring in more revenue, as much revenue as they can every single day. They want to sell phones. They want to sell phones. They want to sell phones. So, of course, they're going to shoot down this rumor. But it's probably true. So, again, just another black eye for OnePlus. So, it sucks. October, sweet. That's not that far away. Just easier to consolidate everything into one brand with fully attention to One OS coming out with more international offerings across different price points. Yep, that's what it is. That's all it comes down to. That's all it comes down to, man. It's as simple as that. And for as much as it is a bummer for some people are OnePlus fans, that's life. Like, I guess you got to find I guess you have to find a new company to be a fanboy of, or I guess you got to find a new device to love. Like, that's just life. Like, what do you want them to do? Continually lose money every year? Again, they've been doing that for the last 6 years. Like, at some point, you got to pull the plug. It is what it is. It sucks, but that's life. So I think I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, there's some people that are really butthurt over this. And look, I am too, to a certain extent, but get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it sucks, but move on. They're moving on, right? Like, they're looking at tomorrow, next week, next month. Oppo is, right? They're not looking in the rearview mirror. So I suggest fans that are upset by this decision, I suggest you do the same thing. Look at tomorrow, look at next week, look at next month. Look, time goes on. It is what it is. We'll hold them in high regard. Get you one of your favorite OnePlus devices and just hold on to it, and you can have it for good old memories, right? But times changing, and they did what they had to do to survive. So I don't blame them at all. Again, it does suck, but that's life. So I love tech, but it's not my daughter or my wife or anything, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. We'll find another phone to love. Let's see here. Let me pull up. Okay, so I wanted to get into this real quick. Give me a second. I need to blow my nose, and I don't want to be rude, so give me a second. Man, I am congested today. Whew. Okay. How do y'all, before we move on to the next topic, how do y'all like the new shorts that I'm doing? Where I'm doing a new style of shorts. So if you see bad quality shorts and good quality shorts, the bad quality shorts are taken from this. That's why they look shitty. I don't know why they come out in bad resolution, but it really bothers me. So I'm like, you know what? I can't put out bad quality content. So I need to shoot independent shorts. And there's a channel that I follow that covers like world events or what's the channel name? I forgot the name, but he does shorts. And I was like, you know what? I like that style. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just try to mimic the style he's doing? So I'm trying to improve my shorts game. So I'll record an independent video, square, a 1x1 square of myself, and I'll put me at the bottom because remember the shorts are 9x16 vertical. So put me at the bottom and then put whatever I'm talking about on top so you can have a visual to see, so you don't have to stare at my ugly face, and then you a video, picture, whatever, and I can explain what's going on above me. I thought that was, I just started with those this week, and I thought, I thought they look a lot better, but hopefully y'all will enjoy some of them. Let's see, the Flip 8. So we got full spec sheet of the Flip 8. Now there's some debate on what we did not know about this device, and I got a little scared today, and I don't want this article to startle some of y'all that may be interested in this device. So one thing we do know, I found out today, is it's not going to have Samsung's new Flex Titanium technology on the hinge. It's not. That we covered yesterday, that creaseless design. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you made it today. Thank you. We're almost done, but I'm glad you got here because we're about to do the giveaway. So you made it just on time. So we discussed the creaseless technology that Samsung is going to bring to the table with the Fold series devices, but they didn't say anything about the Flip. Well, I found out today the new creaseless Flex Titanium technology is not going to be on the Flip. So there will still be a crease. However, they did put a new hinge, a new smaller hinge in this device, but it's just not going to have the new display tech where it's going to be creaseless. Now, I'm okay with that because I don't have a problem with the Flips. Now, here's something else that we were almost sure about yesterday, and then today I got some startling news, but then I think I'm okay with it, if that makes sense. So we found out a few weeks ago that the Flip 8 was going to have a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Yes, CPU. For global markets and the Exynos 2600 and two other markets, South Korea and Europe. Today, this report about, hang on one second, this damn cat, always messing with me, hang on. So today we got a report. What the hell is going on down here? Jesus. Whew. Okay. Yesterday we got a report that no, was this today? Let me redo this. This is a mess. A couple weeks ago, we found out the Z Flip 8 was getting the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 CPU, which is good news. Good news for me. Good news for essentially everybody. You'd rather have the Snapdragon over the Exynos, right? Right. You get the new T-Mobile 5G network, right? Which is a big deal for me because I'm in a dead zone. So this is awesome news. The Exynos 2600 was going to come in this device, but only in two markets, South Korea and Europe. This came out today, at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard. No, this morning at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I read this article when I got up this morning, and it said that the Flip 8 was going to come with the Exynos CPU. And I thought, wait, hold up. I just decided a couple days ago I was going to get this phone, and now you're telling me you're throwing water on my party here by telling me it's going to have an Exynos CPU. So I looked into this today, and it still looks like we're getting the Snapdragon. I think it's not set in stone, but it's pretty close. Now, I don't think this has passed through the FCC yet. It should be literally any day now, because that will tell us FCC is USA specific. But it appears there are two models, one with Exynos and one with Snapdragon. Now, the person that they're saying that came out with the full spec sheet, this Win Future person here, they're a European publication, which would make sense. If they get the spec sheet in Europe, it's going to say Exynos 2600. But if you're in America, I believe you're still getting the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. That's very good. Now, the only other thing that it's really getting an upgrade with is obviously the CPU if you're getting the Snapdragon. But also something that should have you excited is they're giving you a big bump in charging speeds. And this is one of my biggest complaints of the Flip series is the slow freaking charging. If you remember, the previous years of the Flips would only charge at 25 watts. 25 watts. You think I'm joking with you? I'm not. Like, essentially hour 45 minutes to charge 25 watts. Are you shitting me? So I was very happy to see this come with now 45 watts, which should bring it under 1 hour, right? Should. And it's got a 4,400 milliamp hour battery. It's got a more efficient CPU. If you have the Snapdragon. And the display is going to be the M14 OLED panel, which uses 73% less power over the previous year's M13 OLED panel. So they should get decent battery life, which I'm happy about. It's going to weigh less, 180 grams compared to 188 grams for the Flip 7. And those are the biggest improvements over the last year. So it is a refresh. However, they're essentially fine-tuning it because I like the Flip 7. Minus a couple of things. Well, guess what? Well, they're improving on those couple of things I did not like. So I should like this, right? And I think you will too if this is your thing. They're not improving the physical sensors in this device, but you should have better quality still photo and video. And I know you're thinking, well, how are you going to do that if they're not changing the sensors? Well, it's what's processing that image or that video. The Snapdragon has a huge advantage over the Exynos in the ISP, the image sensing processor. The Snapdragon has a drastically better ISP than the Exynos counterpart. So technically, it's not going to turn a photo, fuzzy to 4K. But it will, in my opinion, make subtle improvements, which on these Flips, any improvement in video and or image quality is a big improvement. Now, they've come a long way since like the Flip 4, which cameras really sucked. So they have made improvements, and I think this will just put the icing on the cake. Now, obviously, I wish they put bigger, better, newer sensors in here, but you got to deal with what we got. So this should take a little better videos, a little better still photos, a little better night shots. So I'm excited. I definitely plan on getting one. I'm going to get the white one. And again, if you're unaware, apparently this is the last year they're going to make this. That's the word on the street. This is the last year they're making the Flips, which doesn't make any sense to me. This is their highest selling foldable. So I'm like, why would they I don't get it, but that's the word on the street. So I was not going to get one of these as of a week or two ago, and now that I know it's going to be the last one, I'm definitely going to get it, just like the OnePlus 15. If they're going to discontinue one of my favorite phones, I'm going to go out and get one and keep it. I'm not selling it. So, what's going on, man? Yeah, yeah, because again, I think anything over an hour is too long, and honestly, I think 45 minutes is about what I expect, and honestly, that's what I expect with this Flip 8, about 45 minutes, and that's fine with me. Now, I wish every phone was at 25 minutes, like the OnePlus 15 or the Motorola Signature. Anything under 30 is awesome, but 45 minutes I think is good. Right? Anything over an hour, no, that's too long. That's too freaking long. Nowadays, nobody's got that kind of time. Um, all phones should be under about 45 minutes. There's no excuse to have a phone that takes over an hour to charge or even over 45 minutes to charge. No excuse whatsoever. I don't want to hear it at all. We're sending freaking spaceships to Mars. There's no reason a phone in 2026 should take longer than 45 minutes to charge. Any answer they give you is hogwash, is BS. That's a fact. Oh yeah. What, you mean to ColorOS or if you upgrade to the Flip 8? I don't see any reason why not. I think it'll be fine. I hope Razer continues to innovate with their flip phones now that Samsung will be exiting the game. So I've been getting a lot of pushback because I've been saying the Motorola Razer phones are trash, not the Razer Fold. I think that's cool. I think that's good if you like that form factor. But hear me out. Not necessarily the hardware is trash. My gripe is more with Motorola, the company, not Motorola Razer Flip. You see what I'm saying? And that's because they don't update the phones. Like, I did some research yesterday. Somebody called me out in a comment and said something along the same lines. And I said, well, why would I ever consider getting a Motorola Flip? Like, are you serious? And then they came back and said, well, yeah, it's better than the Flip 8. And I was like, no, it's not. And I said, there's one simple thing that prevents me or anybody from getting one of those. And it's because they don't update the phones. That's what it comes down to. They just now, I looked it up. Motorola, Razer, the flip phones like the Flip 7 or Flip 8, they just updated their latest one to Android 16. Huh? Motorola just updated it to Android 16, meaning it had 15 on it. Are you kidding me? Like, this is my gripe with Motorola. It's not necessarily the phone. I'm sure the phone is cool. I'm sure it's fun to use. I'm not using a phone if the company doesn't care about the phone. And you cannot tell me Motorola cares about a phone, but hands off. We're not going to update it. Your security, we don't care about your security. Huh? That's the only reason why I got this phone. Because it gets updated monthly. So until they do that, then I'll take the Razer serious. But but as of now, I don't take them serious. And again, if you enjoy it, I'm not shitting on you. I'm shitting on Motorola. Like, again, I'm sure it's fun to use. I'm sure it may take better pictures than the Flip. I have no clue. I've never used one, and I'm not until they update them monthly. I think that's the bare minimum that these companies owe the consumer. I'm not going to use a phone where my security, where you don't update your phones. Like, what is that all about? Like, hey, these things are like $1,000. Like, I just don't see the point in using them if they're not going to update them. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a collector's item. Maybe check it out. They're coming out with now if you live in the US, maybe, it sucks because you're gonna have to pay extra to buy one. Can't go on Oppo's website and buy it. You're going to have to go to eBay, and they add $100, $200 on top of what they already cost. So that's, I wish they would open up sales to the United States, you know, but they're coming out with the new Find X10 series here pretty soon. That's going to be badass. I can keep the OnePlus for a bit. Yeah, you can keep it for the next 5 years, and I think it'll be a good phone. There's no reason to upgrade. If you have a current OnePlus phone, like a OnePlus 15 series, OnePlus 13 series, no rush. Those will be good phones for years to come. So don't feel pressured to upgrade to something new, right? Please don't feel pressured to upgrade. There's no reason to upgrade, honestly. Okay, let's do a giveaway and we will get out of here. So let me pull this up. I want everybody to do this. Put hashtag. Oh, sweet. Nice. What color do you have? Do you have Sandstorm or the black one? Or maybe you got purple. I heard that one looks cool in person. Do this. Put hashtag gift in the chat. Hashtag gift, just like on the banner at the bottom of the screen, and I will pull up a giveaway here. Let's see here. Let me share my screen. All right, is everybody ready? Let's do this. Okay, what is it? Hashtag gift. Humble Dreamer R, congratulations to you. I think you've won before, correct? I believe you have. Congratulations to you. You are the lucky winner today. I'll get with you behind the scenes. Email me, esimstudios@gmail.com. My contact information is down below in the description box, and if you need to copy and paste it. But I'll get with you behind the scenes here this afternoon and send you an Amazon gift card, Cash App, or if you're outside the country, I can't remember if you are or not, but if you are, no problem. We'll figure it out. But congratulations to you. Thank you for joining us. If you did not win, make sure you subscribe. We do these at least once a week. And follow us on the other platforms as well. So I'm going to be hard at work here making content. As soon as I hit the end button, I'm still going to be working. So look out for videos. I have a update video I'm pushing out, and then a couple of other videos as well, and an app review. So appreciate the time. Please have a safe but enjoyable rest of the day, and I will definitely see you all tomorrow. It's your second win? Sweet. Awesome. Email me. I'll get with you behind the scenes. Peace out, guys. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, I'm on my way to a brand